Redmi Note 10, 10 Pro and 10 Pro Max debut in India. The Redmi Note line has solidified itself as arguably Xiaomi's key range. Starting its 10th edition are three phones, the Note 10, Note 10 Pro and Note 10 Pro Max, which just debuted in India. Powered by the Snapdragon 732G and a 108-megapixel main camera, the Note 10 Pro Max is the leader of the pack. The regular Note 10 Pro offers the same chipset and 64-megapixel main shooter, while the vanilla Note 10 comes with the SD678 and a 48-megapixel camera. All three handsets come with Super AMOLED displays, which is a first for the Redmi Note lineup. Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. Kicking things off is the first Redmi Note with a 120Hz Super AMOLED screen, the Note 10 Pro Max. It comes with a 6.67-inch FHD Plus panel with a 16-megapixel camera housed in a tiny 2.96mm punch-hole cutout. The display also supports HDR10 and up to 1200 nits of peak brightness and is protected by Gorilla Glass 5. Around the back we find Samsung 108-megapixel ISOCELL HM2 sensor inside the main shooter. It comes in at 1152 in size with 0.7 micrometers pixels and Super PD autofocus. The default mode uses a 9:1 binning process, effectively outputting 12-megapixel shots. There is also an 8-megapixel ultrawide snapper, 5-megapixel telemacro cam with 2x zoom, and a 2-megapixel depth sensor. The Snapdragon 732G sits under the hood with 68GB RAM and up to 128GB storage, which is still expandable via microSD. On the software front, we have Android 11 based on MIUI 12. The phone also comes with an IR blaster, headphone jack, dual stereo speakers, and an IP52 rating. The battery comes in at 5020 mAh and gets 33 watts charging capabilities. The Redmi Note 10 Pro Max starts at 18,999 rupees, $261 for the 664GB trim. There is a 6128GB variant for 19,999, $275, while the 8128GB model will retail for 21,999, $302. It's available in dark night, glacial blue and vintage bronze colors. First sales in India are scheduled for March 18 from ami.com and Amazon India, while the rest of Xiaomi's retail partners will bring the phone at a later date. Redmi Note 10 Pro. The regular Redmi Note 10 Pro features the same 6.67-inch Super AMOLED screen with a 120Hz refresh rate and Snapdragon 732G chipset as the Pro Max. The camera setup on the back substitutes the 108-megapixel cam for a 64-megapixel Samsung GW3 sensor. The remaining three sensors are identical, 8-megapixel plus 5-megapixel plus 2-megapixel, to the Note 10 Pro Max. The Note 10 Pro also gets a 5020 mAh battery with 33 watts charging and stereo speakers, a headphone jack, and an IR blaster. RAM comes in 68GB, while storage ranges between 64GB and 128GB and is expandable via microSD. The Redmi Note 10 Pro starts at 15,999 rupees, $220 for the 664GB trim. There is a 6128GB variant for 16,999, $234, while the 8128GB model will retail for 18,999, $261. Color options include dark night, glacial blue, and vintage bronze. First sales in India are scheduled for March 17. Redmi Note 10. The third Note 10 entry brings a 6.43-inch Super AMOLED display with a standard 60Hz refresh rate. It's powered by the Snapdragon 678 chipset with 46 GB RAM and 64/128 GB expandable storage. The camera setup includes a 48-megapixel Sony IMX582 main shooter alongside an 8-megapixel ultrawide module and two 2-megapixel sensors for macro shots and depth data. The selfie cam comes in at 13-megapixel battery-wise. We get a 5000 mAh cell that does 33 watts fast charging like the Pro siblings, and the software side is covered again by MIUI 12 on top of Android 11. The Redmi Note 10 will start at 11,999 rupees, $165 for the 464 GB trim and goes up to 13,999, $192 for the 6128 GB variant. First sales begin on March 16th from ami.com and Amazon India. Color options include shadow black, frost white, and aqua green. In a few hours, Xiaomi will also announce its Redmi Note 10 lineup for the global audiences. Stay tuned, because that event may yield yet more surprises.